My adventure is called Zikran's Zephyrean Tome.
And what is it about? Like, what were you trying to capture in this? Because each of these are very small adventures, so you have like a limited time to kind of like create a story for the dungeon master.
Yeah, a lot of the adventures they're short and sweet. Um, the prompt was Chris Perkins. He came to a series of writers and he said, write a mystery, and you have to have the book and you have to have the mystery, and it starts at Candlekeep, and that is very open. Uh, and if you pick up the book, you'll see we all went in a different direction, which is fantastic. Some of the adventures are sort of your classic dungeon crawls. Some of them are more like grand adventures, and then a couple of them are just wild. My adventure is about you find a book with a genie trapped inside,
Mm-hmm.
and the genie asks you, please, to help. He would like to be free. He's trapped. That sucks. But you need to track down his old master, the person who trapped him, who is Zikran, an evil water genasi wizard. But no one knows where to find him.
There's some interesting tidbits in terms of a book. Like the book, like, and I don't want to reveal too much about the adventure,
Yeah.
but charmingly, the book ends up in Candlekeep, and it's a book that one cannot open. Correct?
Yes, that's a thing. The genie who's trapped inside, his name is Guzre Azam, and he's really looking for a way out. So all these avowed that are walking around that have no intention of ever leaving Candlekeep, he's like, these are all useless to me. But when a party of adventurers comes in, they have to leave soon. He goes, perfect. They're on their way out. Maybe they can help me. And that's why he contacts the party initially.
I love that particular element of the adventure because it almost reminds me a bit of The Ring, right? The Ring is like stuck with Gollum and desperately doesn't necessarily want to leave with Gollum, but then someone else shows up and it's like, hey, by the way, take me.
Yes.
I know you're leaving Candlekeep. Like,
exactly.
No, if I present myself to anyone in this keep, I probably may not get out.
Yeah.
So the idea that they are lying in wait for the right group of adventurers is very charming.
Yeah, I really wanted, getting a party of adventurers to opt into an adventure is sometimes a little tough. And writing for this, one of the first problems that I saw was these aren't my players. I run D&D. I know my players. I can get them to do kind of what I want them to do by giving them things they're interested in. But this is for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know how your day's been. Maybe you're not inclined to randomly pick up a book and read. So having a genie pop out and say, please assist me, it's as direct as we can get. And
yeah.
that's nice.
No, that's right. I mean, you're right. You have limited time. Like, I need you to buy in now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gotta be strange because how long have you been dungeon mastering?
Not that long, actually. I started with 5th edition, so 6 years now. It's 2021. Last year doesn't count. So like 5-6 years.
What was this whole experience like for you? Because initially, I believe you started out freelancing for Wizards of the Coast, and now you are an employee of Wizards of the Coast, and now you are a published author.
Yes. Actually, it wasn't even freelancing. I was an intern on Magic: The Gathering.
Oh my.
Yeah. I got an internship working with the Magic department, and I'm at Wizards. I'm a fan of D&D. I have the opportunity, and so I reached out to Chris Perkins, Jeremy, a couple of members of the D&D team, and was like, hey, I'm interested in this. Can we just sit down and talk? And they're wonderful people. They're very nice. They're excited about D&D, which is good, considering how long some of them have been going for it. It's encouraging to see that people are still ecstatic to work here. But yeah, no, we sat down and Chris told me about one of the books that was going to be coming up. It was going to be a collection of adventures by a bunch of writers, some of them completely new to 5th edition official content, some completely new to 5th edition generally. And he said, hey, if you're interested, go ahead and pitch me something, and maybe it'll end up in the book. And I thought, hey, if it doesn't, this is still a great learning opportunity to hand an adventure to Chris Perkins and be like, hey, yes, good, no,
Yeah,
bad.
no, absolutely.
Thoughts, what can I get from you?
Yeah.
And we stuck to the process. I think he rejected like my first 5 or 6 pitches. Some of them were just not particularly interesting. Some of them were, this isn't a mystery, which turns out writing mysteries pretty complicated. But yeah, it was a fantastic learning experience. In turn, became contractor. I stayed at the company, worked on Magic still, a little bit of D&D stuff, and then eventually switched over to the D&D team. And now I'm part of the D&D team.
That's so amazing. That's such a like amazing journey. And I'm curious, like, what did you learn? What is a good mystery then? Since you had to go through this process of like, that's not a mystery. Like, what did you learn from the process of like finding what worked and what didn't to create an adventure for this book?
It was a lot of making sure the players felt like they were solving something. Go here, slay the dragon. That's not a mystery. Go here, I think, and maybe you'll find something interesting to do there, and then that'll lead you to the next thing. It is, I mean, it's simple when you say it, but getting the player to believe that, getting the dungeon master to sell that satisfyingly, that was the biggest thing. Just trying to find how to make it feel like there was something sort of across the fence that I wanted to go find, but I didn't know what it was.
Is there one particular element of this story that you adore the most, other than the amazing artwork, which we're seeing right now of this dragon with this coral crown?
I'll get out of the way. Here's the dragon. I love this dragon. His name is Ashgrillith, and he is my baby. So a lot of the encounters in the adventure, they're not your straightforward, there's a fight. A lot of players like talking. And sometimes you got to fight the wizard. But, when you meet the dragon, when you meet this genie, who's normally this powerful elemental creature, the first thing you do with a lot of them is you have a conversation. The genie asks you for help. The dragon might ask what you're doing in his lair. It's even when you encounter Zikran, if you give him a chance to speak, he'll villain monologue at you. And so there's a lot of interaction, and that's really what I was hoping for, is the fact that you can get through a lot of this adventure being genuine.
That's nice. That's lovely. Yeah, like I think this adventure gives you a lot of opportunity to show who your character is.
Yes.
Because there is certainly a lot of social aspects and a lot of like social contract even within the game, in a game that already has social contracts. Yes. You've agreed to help this djinn.
Exactly.
You have the choice not to be a jerk.
Yeah, and that's really what it is, right? It's, I just want to provide you opportunity after opportunity to show me you're fun to hang out with.
Yeah,
because that's what D&D is. It's just fun hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you encourage players to convince their dungeon masters to pick up Candlekeep Mysteries and run a couple of adventures from here? And how do you encourage dungeon masters to do so? I think one of the key selling elements here is like, you get 17 adventures. Like it really is at your whim, the type of adventure you want to go on.
Absolutely. And they're across the level range. So wherever your party's at, there's something for them to try out. For players, if you want to sell your DMs on this, new monsters, all very unique. I loved working on the monsters for this book because it's the like best idea that 17 people individually had, and they put together like this is the coolest thing I could come up with for this, and then that goes in the book. So we have I don't want to spoil it, people's adventures, but we have high level archfey that people are excited about. We have sort of constructs that are cuter than you can imagine that people are excited about, and there's ghosts of a size you have not previously seen.
Yes.
And
I'm very excited for those.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of just novel takes on pretty classic D&D stuff. So Dungeon Masters, it's a good toolbox to have, and that's my sell to the DMs too. It's a great toolbox.
Some interesting magical items as well scattered about. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it is definitely a toolbox. I honestly think this adventure is one of the best. This book is one of the best books. If you bought the DM's guide, the Dungeon Master's guide, and you've got the player's handbook, this is one of the best ones to pick up right after that. Like this and the starter kit are like, just a great introduction to D&D in general.
Absolutely.
And that variety that you can get from that.
I think anything with short adventures is a great on-ramp for the nervous but excited DM. It's easy. You don't have to burden yourself with a whole campaign, which is very exciting, but also quite an amount of work.
Yeah.
You're managing the experience for a handful of players and yourself over a long time. But these short adventures, it's most of them can be run in 1 to 2, the longest ones maybe 3 or 4 sessions, I guess, if you got a slow group. And that's a couple weeks or a month of good times that I don't have to commit to, and can get a feel for things, and that's great.
It's a fantastic book full of great authors, wonderful adventures, and lots of great ideas. I highly recommend it. If you'd like to support more videos like this, you can go to the Amazon affiliate link, taking you directly to that book if you want to purchase it, or you can support other videos like this by going to our Patreon page. Thank you so much for watching.